Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem, El Shai, Bashem, Rakak, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. I'm going to try to make this brief, short. Anyway, I'm going to title this video, Christians Don't Know Shit or Ish about Prophecy. I was going to call it Christians Don't Know Ish about the Bible. I may put in Bible and also prophecies. In parentheses, I'll put prophecies, or I might just put Christians don't know ish about the prophecies. Well, either way works, because they don't know the Bible, and they damn sure don't know or don't understand the prophecies of the book. And that's where you get them. If you're dealing with them Christians, you like dealing with them Christians. I keep saying this. They need you, you don't need them. So you control the narrative. We're Israel, we're the A side, okay? The B side don't say what he gonna get and how much he gonna get, and he's coming in last, and when they put up the billing for the fight, his name is on top. No. The A side gets everything. Israel is the A side. That's a topic right there. How do we know that Israel is the A side? The Israelites are the A side? Because Christians always coming around us with their cameras. We ain't coming around them. Like I said before, they need us, we don't need them. You know? We ain't rolling up on vocab churches or God Logic or James Wood. We ain't rolling up on them guys. We don't need to roll up on them, but they roll up on us. And why? I don't know, because ain't no Israelite gonna follow, unless he's a weak ass Israelite just came in for 6 months and he ain't sure. Anyway. So the title is Christians Don't Know Ish about the Bible, in parentheses, prophecies. Also, the second part of the title is Israel and Judah will press together. This is from Jeremiah 50 verse 33. Thus saith Yahweh. Now, anytime you see Yahweh, you see Lord. The word there is Yahweh in the Hebrew. I might even go to the chat and ask that question. It says, Thus saith Yahweh, the Father of armies, which includes the missiles that's going to destroy Babylon the Great, aka the U.S. The children of Israel, or the kingdom of Israel, and the children of Judah will oppress together. Oppress together meaning oppress at the same time, which that did not happen over 2,000 years ago. The children of Israel, or the northern kingdom, was taken down by the Assyrians. I gotta go into it, but anywhere from 125 to about 150 years before the children of Judah, or the kingdom of Judah, was taken down by the Babylonians. If you do it, from my recollection, we're talking the Babylonians had power over Israel, a key year, circa 600, around there. They ruled over, oppressed the kingdom of Judah for 70 years. They didn't even complete 70 years. The prophecy was for 70 years. It even says that in the Bible, but they didn't even complete. I believe they did. The kingdom went down by the hands of the Medes, 67 years. So they were three years shy. Scholars will tell you that. Whether it's 67 or 70, Their rulership was no more than 70 years. So you take away 70 years from circa 600 years BC or BCE. You got 500 and what is it, like 530 years, somewhere about that. I'm not going into the exact math because the Most High doesn't always deal with exact math. And so when the Assyrians were taken down, by the way, the Assyrians wanted to take down Judah and Israel. They could not take down Judah. Judah fought them off, going to the history, but it was able to take down the sons or the kingdom, the northern kingdom, which was Israel, right? And that was 726 circa, 22 circa. So we're talking 120, 25 years or so. It was 125 years in the future that the Babylonians took down the kingdom of Judah. So how can they be oppressed together when one was oppressed and Judah didn't help Israel? They're like, good for your ass. Yeah, you separated from us. So this is the curse. This is the curse that the Most High put against you because you separated from the house of David, which is Judah. Another word for Judah, right? So good for your asses. That's why, you go back 2 months, 3 months, 2.5 months. Trump started going after the Latin tribes. So he was really about it. He got these race dudes. And the Latin tribe, the Southern Kingdom, who are they calling for help? They're calling Judah for help. Actually, the Negroes. And they don't even really know why. That's a spiritual call because they're connected to Israel. They're connected to Israel. And we're suffering it too because now Trump wants to go after Judah. He sent the what do you call it, the Guard, the National Guard. He's going to send them to Chicago, and he sent them to D.C. So now he's going after Judah. So he's not going after Arabs, East Indians. He's not going Chinese. A lot of Chinese nationals snuck in this country too. He's going after the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel. So that's the oppression. Us being in America, all the tribes are here in America. And every tribe that came over here, they oppressed. They weren't oppressed as bad as Judah, but now with them getting taken, another thing, if you notice, you check out the news, if the person's from Mexico, you're supposed to deport them back to Mexico, right? If the person's from Venezuela, you're supposed to deport them back to Venezuela. Not San Salvador or somewhere in Africa. What's going on behind the scenes is they selling them into slavery. It's a slave trade led by Nero. And a child, what do you call it? When you trafficking, which they go into these other countries, these little girls and even these little boys, to be property of these other rich nations and so forth. So it's really this system is a diabolical dude, diabolical. That whole Charlie Kirk thing sounds like a cover-up of something else. You know what I'm talking about? Remember, we got to speak in codes here. This kingdom, this system, it's falling apart. And we can see it. Habakkuk 2. We always go to Habakkuk 2, right? So now, let me go ahead and read this. Jeremiah 50 verse 33. Thus saith Yahweh. And this proves that we are the Israelites, the people, the Negroid, people of Negroid, Haitian, Jamaican, Islanders, Latinos, North American Indians, the people that Christopher Columbus encountered were going from Canada to the U.S. to Central and South America. Those are the 12 tribes. The 12 tribes were pushed to the other. That's what it says in what is it, Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And then when you look up the word scattered, go to the precept and do a word search on that word. There's all kinds of scriptures. But what it says, I'm quoting it, not word for word, I'm just merely paraphrasing it. I can go to it, somebody can put it up. It basically says in Deuteronomy 28, 64, that they're going to be scattered, and it also said they're going to go from one side of the earth to the other. If it's not in that scripture word for word, it's in other scriptures where it says we're going to be on the other side of the earth. That's all throughout the scriptures. Even Yahushua told the disciples that when you prophesy, you're gonna eventually prophesy on the other side of the earth. That means the Americas, North, Central, and South America, because the Israelites are there. And that's where he went to in the scriptures, where the wicked scribes and Pharisees said, whither will he go that we cannot find him? Will he go among the Gentiles, the Israelites, to teach the Gentiles, the Israelites? Will he go among the Gentiles to teach the Gentiles? Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Let me go ahead and read this. So this right here, Jeremiah 50 verse 33 is referring to right now. You go into the hood, you're going to see Jake on the block. You're going to see Judah, and you're going to see Benjamin on the block. Jake likes West Indian food. Jake likes Spanish food. Jake knows about Plátano Maduros. Jake knows about arroz con pollo, because we dealt with their women, and their men dealt with our women. So, and when we used to have parties, we used to play 20 minutes of Jake music, then 20 minutes of Seminite music, then 20 minutes of Jamaican music, then 20 minutes of salsa music, because we were mixed, And the food that we had, when you have a party, you have the food. Me and the Apostle Ramla, we used to cook, and people used to tear that food up. But we would make Spanish food, American food, And let me see. I'm sorry. Let me go over here. Okay, I don't want this, because I want to open this up. The children of Israel and children of Judah were oppressed together. That's right here. There's no time where, Egyptian, Mizraim, 430 years. For 400 we were oppressed. Okay, let me come over here. What I said was going. Okay, John. JOHN 7:35. And these are these wicked scribes and Pharisees, because they knew that the 12 tribes, the northern kingdom, was somewhere elsewhere. So he said, are you going among them 12, the northern kingdom? It says, then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed? The dispersed. So we know that that's Israelites among the Gentiles, and teach the Gentiles. These are the natural Gentiles. These are the Israelites that don't know that they're Israelites. Let me open this up in the NLT. See, before Yahushua comes back, all the tribes had to meet together. They had to be oppressed together. The Jewish leaders were puzzled by his statement, where is he planning to go? they ask, is he thinking of leaving the country and going to the Jews, or the Israelites in other lands, mainly America? Maybe he will even teach the Greeks. So who are the Greeks? The Greeks are Israelites that didn't know that they were Israelites. When the tribes came over here, they didn't say, oh, to this day we're the Israelites. Because through time they lost they lost their identity. So this is a beautiful one. It says, thinking of leaving to the country, or this country, and going to the Israelites, in particular the northern kingdom, and other lands, mainly other land. Maybe he will even teach them. What them? The Jews or the Israelites being Greeks now. What made them Greeks? The fact that they didn't know that they were Israelites. Let me go to the AMP. Let's see what the AMP got to say. See what the AMP got to say. See, we've been trying to tackle the Jeremiah 50 and then Jeremiah 51. There's a lot of information in those two chapters. A lot of information. This is the AMP. John 7:35. Then the Israelites, or the Jews, or the scribes and the Pharisees, the people that sit on Moses' seat, said among themselves, where does this man intend to go that we will not find him? Does he intend to go to the dispersed? Who's the dispersed? The Israelites. Of the Jews, which are the Israelites. The word there should be Israelites. Scattered and living among the Greeks. Nobody was there. This was an uncharted land where man never dwelt. So when they came to the Americas, they didn't see nobody. That was uncharted land. That was in paradise, and they knew to come here because Solomon had the Canaanites come back and forth, right? So they're speculating as to where he's going. It says Jews scattered, or Israelites scattered, living among the Greeks, and teach the Greeks. Living among the Greeks meaning the Gentiles to teach the Israelites. And the Greeks are also Israel. So it should say, does he intend to go to the dispersion, the scattered, right? Or disperse of the northern kingdom, scattered and living among themselves, Israelites, this be Israelites, and teach the Israelites. So nowhere in this scripture, when it says Gentiles in the King James, it's talking about, like, let me go back to the King James. Now I believe Vocab taught it this way. This is a King James version, KJV. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he said, I'm going, where I'm going, you can't come. Whither will he go that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed, the Israelites, Isaiah 11, among the Gentiles, other nations, which there were no other nations there. Remember, this was a unlived in land, and teach the what? The Gentiles. The Gentiles are Israelites. So I believe Vocab, I believe he actually broke it down this way. He said they're going to go to another land. They're going to see an Israelite. They're going to say, are you an Israelite? And he's going to say, yes, I'm an Israelite. Okay, I'm not dealing with you. How about you? Well, I'm not an Israelite. Okay, I'm going to teach you. I believe that's how Vocab breaks it down. He can come in, chime in. No, very simple. Talking about Israelites. Disperse among the Israelites and teach the Israelites. That's what it's supposed to say. That's the place. That's the place. What's that? Micah 4:10. We're going to wind up in Babylon. Then we're going to be delivered. I should even read that. Matter of fact, I am going to read that. Micah 4:10. Here we go. This is the fulfillment of the two kingdoms coming together. The 12 tribes sign, it takes place here in America, in the Americas, right? But in America, U.S. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, which represents Israel, the Israelites as a whole, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field. This goes hand in hand with Revelation 12. The great escape. The city represents Jerusalem, right? And thou, or Israel, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. The field is Africa. The Babylon is America. There shall thou be delivered. So this is getting ready to happen. This is yet to happen. There Yahweh shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. Who's the number one enemy? Esau. This goes hand in hand with Revelation 12. This also goes hand in hand with Hosea 1:10. And the place where it says, "Ye are not my people," there it shall be said, "Ye are the sons of the living power." So, I mean, we know this, right? It said, "Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the sons of Israel and the sons of Judah will press together." They will never press together. When, as I'm going to say it again, when the Assyrians were trying their hardest to take down Judah, they couldn't take down Judah. They succeeded in taking down the king of Israel, which was Hoshea, which, by the way, Hawashai means deliverer. His name was Deliverer. They took that king down and those tribes, but they couldn't take down Judah. About 125 years in the future, that's when the Babylonians came in and took Judah down. So how can they be oppressed when the northern kingdom was oppressed by the Assyrians? Judah was in their kingdom. Ain't nobody was messing with them. 125 plus years later, the Babylonians came along. And then another thing, if they were pressed together, that means the Babylonian Empire and the Assyrian Empire had to join forces and put hell on them. No. And besides that, they left the land of the Assyrians to go to a new land. So they wasn't oppressed. What are you oppressing each other in the land, in the new land? No. When they came to the new world, which is paradise, they wasn't oppressed. And when they were in that land, the Judah was being oppressed. Yahweh was being oppressed by the Babylonians. And then the first Darius, the Mede, and then you had Cyrus, you had the Medes and the Persians. They treated Israel nice. They didn't tax them, and they allowed them to build the temple back that Esau and the Babylonian powers burnt down. At the call of Esau, burn it down, raise it, burn it down to the ground. So when Judah was being oppressed by the Babylonians, the northern kingdom were not being oppressed at all because they left the land. Because when you go in, the captivity on the Assyrians was just like the Roman Empire was a tributary. In other words, you pay us, give us a certain amount of your crop and your this and your that. We ain't gonna mess with you. Alexander the Greek did that, and he didn't even tax us. Alexander the Greek was kissing Israel's ass, and he knew how to speak. He knew how to read out the Torah and all that. It says Judah will press together. They would never. Where would they ever press together? Now let's go from here. I'm not gonna make this too much longer. I'm dragging this out. Yeah, this kingdom is done. This kingdom, how about Hashem Yahushua put the right man in office? This kingdom is imploding, and it's exploding in on itself. You had Pat Bondi, whatever her name is, she's the AG, the Attorney General. She said there's hate speech and there's free speech. Hate speech and free speech. Then you had Charlie Kirk. They asked him about hate speech. Is that free speech? He said yes. So this man is turning his grave right now. They're saying if you say something hateful, that doesn't go under free speech. You got to say good things. What? So if you hate your mother-in-law and you with your poor, oh, I hate my mother-in-law, the ICE people could come and grab you up and lock your ass up. If you're dealing with a chick and you don't want to deal with it no more, you messing around with a friend or whatever, and she's like, I hate you, Jerry. ICE members could come along and grab you up and lock you, send you to another country. What kind of bullshit is this? This kingdom is imploding or exploding in on itself, like a TV set, the old-fashioned TV set. It never exploded; it imploded. This motherfucker's imploding, but eventually it's going to be exploded. So, okay, let me go here. So you notice it didn't say much, right? Didn't say much. Context and meaning. This verse is part of a prophetic message against Babylon found in Jeremiah chapters 50 and 51. In verse 33, the sons of Israel and the sons of Judah refer to both the northern kingdom, Israel, and the southern kingdom, Judah, who were both exiled due to their disobedience to God. But wait a minute. It said they were oppressed together. The children of Israel were oppressed 125 plus years before Judah was oppressed by Babylon. Babylon and Assyrians are two different places, and they were being oppressed at two different times. So we're going to go into the Bible Hub, right? It said oppressed together. Shows that both groups suffered under foreign powers. Nope, it's supposed to be one power. All that took them captives, held them fast, means they're captives, and that's America. That's America. That's why if you go back 70 years ago, you didn't have all these tribes here, man. Only tribes you had during the time of Jack Johnson, you had Judah, you had Issachar, and you had Gad and Reuben. You had Ephraim and Simeon and all these other tribes, man. Simeon came about in the late to the early 60s. Because I remember when I first started seeing the Dominicans, they said, I said, no, you Puerto Rican, you ain't no Dominican. I didn't even know what a Dominican was. You know? It says, oppressed together shows that both groups are suffered under foreign powers. Right, powers, not power. All that took them captives, held them fast, means their captors, such as Babylon. Right, either or. It's either Assyrians or the Babylonians. The Babylonians didn't take down the northern kingdom. The Assyrians did not take down the southern kingdom, Judah, when they were trying to do it for years and never succeeded. Refused to release them. That place is Babylon the great city Babylon. They refused to let them go. From where? From America. Echoes the language used in the Exodus story, drawing a parallel to Pharaoh's refusal. That's why America is also known as Egypt. What is that? Isaiah 19 and 18. To let the Israelites go. This sets up the following verse where the Most High promises to redeem, buy them back, and restore his people and bring judgment upon Babylon. Well, we wasn't restored during the Babylonian Empire because the Medo-Persians came in. They were power over us. So when you go to Isaiah 14, 1 and 2, it ain't talking about over 2,000 years ago we were freed from the Babylonians. Vocab says, oh, they had how the hell? We had servants among them when we were taken. When kingdoms were taken over by other kingdoms in the ancient world, if you had servants, your servants was servants under you, but they were part of that count when you had to pay tribute. Just like in the Roman Empire, you had Jake, the centurion that had the sick servant. He was a Jake. So you had Jake that's in high offices in the Roman Empire. Okay? Okay. So this is definitely America. Now let's go to... Now, this is Jeremiah 50, verse 33 again. Now, when you go to Cambridge, right? And normally I go to Cambridge, they'll have paragraphs and stuff, normally. Or 2 or 3 paragraphs. This is how much they said, because they don't have the answers. Remember, like, give you an example of they don't have the answers. When Ye told Sway, you don't have the answers, Sway. You don't got the answers, Sway. Well, Cambridge don't have the answers, right? All they put in, this is the whole verse. All they put in is, Ho refused the Babylonian oppressors act like Pharaoh of old. That's all I'm going to get? That's all you can give me? You know why they did that? Because they don't have the answers. Like Sway didn't have the answers. Let's go over here. But this is short. Normally this is long. This is long. Wait a minute. Let me go to some others. Okay, I'll read them. I'm not going to read no more. Let's read the Ellicott's. Woe press, better. Oh, press. And so on through the verse. The English tense is misleading. The prophet, having described the doom that lies in the future, right, because it's talking about a Babylon that we don't know about, a Babylon that didn't exist. It's not talking about the same Babylon. Now returns to the presence and finds because Jeremiah saw them being oppressed. He saw them in America, and he saw, as you read the whole chapter, the 50th chapter, Jeremiah, and then going to 51, you see how that the Most High destroyed them, delivered them, and destroyed Babylon. Most High never destroyed ancient Babylon. It was a surgical strike. I keep saying that. And finds in the actual state of Israel that which made the destruction of Babylon, not talking about ancient Babylon, Neo-Babylon, a necessary condition of its liberation. All appears to the mercy of their captors, Assyrian or Chaldean, which is Babylonian, had been made in vain. So they do not have the answers. They do not have the answers, period. Pulpit commentary, verse 33, at the end of verse 32, a pause occurs in the discourse. Then the prophet takes up the theme again with renewed emphasis, were oppressed. Because he saw him. He said he saw him in America being oppressed, getting shot at, getting handcuffed. He saw the ICE agent taking Jake, Jake living in the hood. So he's looking at this and he's writing, this is what it's all about. He's writing it all down. And he understands it's Babylon. He's thinking that it's Neo-Babylon. Oh, the Babylonians going to do this shit to us? No. He's talking about this Babylon. Remember, like I said before, the prophets saw the visions and wrote them down. They did not understand the prophecies. Not one prophet understood the prophecies that they received. Who understands the prophecies that the ancient prophet received? The modern prophets, which we are the modern prophets. Even certain Israelite groups, any Yah Israelites, Ron Dalton, Moses Levy, he'll go into certain books and things and, try to logically break things down. He don't know the prophecies. If you go to any of these groups, including Yah Israelites, they don't know the prophecies, man. They don't know the prophecies. We're oppressed, are oppressed because the oppression of Israel and Judah still continues. No, like I said, Israel they got oppressed by the Assyrians 125 some odd years before Judah got oppressed by a different nation called the Babylonians. Please forgive me, I'm sounding like a broken record, but I'm trying to bring this on home. Judah still continues where Israel has by this time been amply punished, received double, Isaiah 40 verse 2, for transgressions. The Lord will himself interpose. He is, in fact, Israel's Goel, which is Redeemer in the Hebrew. I got to look the word up. I.e., a charge like the next of kin with the duty of recovering thy rights and avenging thy wrongs. So that shows you that they don't know, that they don't understand this. They have to understand that, wait a minute, they will not oppress together. So this is talking about a different Babylon. Bonds, right? Let's look at bonds. Were oppressed or oppressed together, and all their captors have laid firm hold upon them. They have refused to let them go. The restoration, and if they let us go, where are we going to go? Because we don't know that we're Israelites. And let's say we woke up to the fact that we're Israelites, we're going to have to say, well, look, these people over there in the land of Israel, they got to pack up and leave. You think they're going to do that? Or this is part of our land. This is Gad's land. So you're going to pack up and go back to Mount Seir. They don't even know that they're Edomites. The restoration of Israel and Judah and they never got back together in history. After they were split, Assyrians took one kingdom, Babylon took the other kingdom. There's no history where they ever came back together. Not even during the time of the Messiah. To their land is necessary, as Babylon will not let them go. Well, okay, so it's not talking about the pagan Neo-Babylon. Go, it must be broken, and its empire destroyed. Neo-Babylon empire wasn't destroyed. It was a surgical strike. They slit the throats, so to speak, of the king and his lords, and there was no walls knocked down or nothing. Nothing set on fire. It was a surgical strike because they had the food in them. They were eating the king's food, which was nothing but carb. They were loading up on carbs, and they were drinking wine or liquor. So they were laid back. They were in no position to fight. So that's what you call a surgical strike in war. Oh, and in modern military, when you go against another nation, you want to be able to assassinate the king or the president. And once you do that, you have a puppet leader set up, and he's among the people. He might be the friend of the president, and he said, okay, we're gonna assassinate the president, and you're gonna be the new president, but you're gonna do what we tell you to do. So that's what you call a puppet leader. Because if the person, the first president they would have no reason to assassinate him if he's a puppet. Maduro is not a puppet, so they got to put him out of there, and they got to put a puppet up in there. So anyway, I know I went a little long. I didn't want to, but shalom, on to the next. And Christians will never understand it. You just go to Jeremiah, say, what does Jeremiah 50:33 mean? And you can see that these scholars, look, that's all you got. You got one line. That's it. Got a couple of lines. This one is talking about this Kiel and Delit, or whatever Bible commentary on the Old Testament. They're talking about the Euphrates. Where is it? I just saw it. Where the hell is it? Right. They're talking about the Euphrates. They're talking about... They don't know. Babylonia. The chat didn't even have too much to say. Right? So when they say the scholars don't agree with what the Hebrew Israelites say, yeah, well, we don't agree with what you say. Like I said, we're the A side, not you. Anyway, shalom, on to the next. Shalom.